Yeah, I think too, man. LA it's a unique place because of how the unemployment stimulated people's pockets during COVID, probably more than anywhere else. And once that went away, I think a lot of people who weren't used to living a certain lifestyle, right? They got a taste of that lifestyle, and you know they're trying to keep that. I mean, once you get a taste of having that real money, because there was people eating off PPP and the EDD out here. So also too, like, you know, I think a lot of the obviously, you know, there's people who are just wrong place, wrong time. I think another thing is like kind of being just self-aware of where you're at. Are you gonna walk around with $100,000 around your neck when somebody's starving?
Right.
I mean, you got to kind of like understand like the climate that's going on in LA right now. It's crazy because I used to feel like when I'd go to New York, I'd be like, you know, New York is the place where you get jacked. And I'm not saying it still isn't. Of course it is. But I feel like LA feels like just a much more dangerous place now. Even just going to New York, we were just like, man, it's so nice. There's not that many homeless people. Like, there's homeless people, obviously. We saw a bunch. But like certain areas of LA, it's like, it's like Skid Row all over the place.
But there are Skid Row places in New York.
I'm sure there are.
I'll take you there next time.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, I'm sure. And every city has that, right? Yeah. But we were all over the city. Like, if you just drive around LA, which I'm sure you've seen, it doesn't matter if you're in Skid Row. There's just 30 tents on the side of the road. There's like, right. I mean,
but you guys don't have a subway system that people live in.
This is true.
That's what we have too.
That's true. The subway system is a whole nother variable.
We have people that live underground. As a matter of fact, years ago there was a movie made called The Mole Men, and it was a documentary about people. And I would tell you myself, one of the craziest experiences I've ever had is I was 17 and I used to run with a bunch of wild Dominican motherfuckers.
Right.
I mean, talk about cutting, slicing, get the fuck out of the way when you've seen all 30 of us coming down the street. Right. And one day we were writing graffiti at a place called the Freedom Tunnels, which is on 72nd Street. It's all gentrified now. But I walked down the Freedom Tunnel, right? And when we were leaving, we saw a dude just coming out looking like shit, like a regular homeless dude, like all fucked up. Yo, and he had a plastic bag with him, right, Kev? He goes to one of the little fountains. He washes himself off, Kev. He takes out a hand towel and uses it like a regular towel. He puts on a button-up shirt, smacks on a name tag, puts a hat on,
goes to work,
and gets ready to go to work. And we approached him because I was like, yo, I want to ask this motherfucker something. So we approached him, and he at first was like, all right, he's seen 20, 30 Dominicans. Yeah. He thought we was gonna evict him.
Right.
And I said, yo, we don't want to do nothing to you, bro. I said, I just want to ask you something. And he was like, what's up? And I said, you really live in the train tunnels? He said, yeah, there's 150 people down there now. He's like, I'm one of the people that lives there with my wife.
Oh, wow.
And I said,
they got that in Vegas, too. So there's like a whole city of people underneath Las Vegas.
Right. So when I asked him this, I said, wait a minute. You live with your wife down there?
Yeah.
And then you guys, and she's like, yeah, she has a job as a waitress, and I have a job working at this spot where I'm like a floor helper or whatever.
That's fucking crazy.
And you know what? That day, I'm sitting in the park where all my people's just smoke wilding out. I'm just smoking an L thinking, and I'm like, and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, you know that dude we ran into? And they were like, yeah. I said, he's doing better than me. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's homeless. I said, no. I asked the guy before we left, I said, what's the goal? He said, we can save up some money, and then me and my wife, in like a few years, we can move out of there, and we can try and get our own place again, get back on our feet. And I looked at the guys, and I said, don't you understand, bro? Y'all motherfuckers out here looking for random broads. This motherfucker not only found the love of his life, but he found a woman that really holds that standard for better or for worse. And not only that, but y'all motherfuckers don't got a plan. Right. This dude got a plan.
At least, yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, I don't got a plan and I don't got to ride or die.
Right.
What the fuck am I doing?
Right.
I still live with my mom and dad. I'm still with a life preserver on.
Right.
This dude's swimming in the ocean with wifey trying to make it. And it humbled me so much that I swear I have such a different attitude dealing with people. I talk to a janitor the way I would talk to
I think everybody should do that, man.
Right.
Because you never know. Like, I always tell that to people. I'm like, man, you never know who you, especially, you know, outside of just day-to-day real life. Like, I talk to young artists all the time about just like treating you got to treat the interns with respect. You got to treat the engineers with respect, because you never know who's going to end up being the president of your label one day, or you know, whoever. So yeah, no, it's definitely the case. Even like up and coming artists, you know, a lot of times people will shit on up and coming artists. Like, it's like, that could be the next whoever the fuck, and they might
or they'll just go at the youth because they're like, I don't like this style or something like that. So I know that, being from my era, everybody, when the skinny jeans first came out, they were ripping these kids, and I used to joke with everybody. I used to be like, listen, they might be wearing skinny jeans. They might even have a purse on, but there's a gun in that purse. You got to be careful with these little kids. Like, you can't just smack them up like there's nothing. You have to respect the fact that the youth still, they want to prove themselves in some way.
Facts.
And so, you know, whether people make fun of them here, like the Edgars at Knott's Berry Farm, you don't want to get jumped by 50 Edgars.
Oh, you're tapped into the Edgar culture at Knott's?
You don't want to get jumped. Well, listen, fam, don't get jumped by 50 Edgars at Knott's Berry Farm, because that's not something that your reputation can recover from. All right, you getting beat up by gang members, people are like, all right, what do you expect? But you getting jumped by children. Yeah. Don't do that.
Do you follow all the like food communities and like all those IG pages?
Fools Gone Wild?
Yeah.
Big shout out to Fools Gone Wild. Yeah,
they're cool people. Are hilarious.
I think that.
But they always have the Edgars fighting at Knott's. It's always a thing. It's like, fuck, what's going on at Knott's Berry Farm? They like had to change the rules.
Yeah, they made it so like you have to have a big homie with you. But that didn't change that much, because
I could just get the 20-year-old homie to come.
Right. Yeah. So you have to be accompanied by someone over 21.
Yeah.
So you just got to bring the big homie now.